Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nargis from Mums Or PK, and I create lifestyle content with an interest in bullet journaling, productivity, fitness, food, and more. I hope you guys are all doing well. Can you believe that it's the second month of 2023? It's absolutely nuts. I don't think I've fully comprehended it yet, but here we are. I am ready with my February 2023 bullet journal setup, and I'm really excited to share it with you. I'm going to go ahead and do a flip through, and I'm going to have a little box up on the top right-hand side where you can also watch me creating some of the spreads. It's always hard for me to film a plan with me because I have 3 kids and scheduling filming time is always kind of hectic. I'm filming this right at the end of January, so you can probably understand. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the setup itself, and let's talk first about the supplies. So my theme is inspired by these two items. This tissue paper was gifted to me by a friend of mine when my little one was born 3 years ago. This was what the gift came wrapped in, and I love saving these sorts of things, and I had saved it and kept it on hand, and I just thought it was really nice, and it's roses, so it's inspiring this setup for this month, as well as this piece of lace. I absolutely love the color on this because it's not quite pink, but it's not quite red, and the roses are just stunning. This, again, is so many years old, I cannot even remember. I think it's been 8 years or something. My niece-in-law was getting married, and I threw her a bridal shower, and this is the material that her dress was made from, and this is just some of the leftover scraps that I had, and I've kept it. I'm just super sentimental like that, and I wanted, I figured what better way to sort of keep it as a memento than to include it in my bullet journal. And so it is going into my February 2023 journal setup. And so essentially the theme is roses. I know it's kind of a cliche for February, but why mess with something that's just so kind of timeless? It's become a huge part of our culture, and you don't necessarily have to celebrate Valentine's Day to be able to appreciate a beautiful rose. Okay, so I also am going to use some white tissue paper. This is just, I think, from IKEA. My IKEA shopping from December was wrapped up in this, so I just kept this on hand, and I think it'd be great to use as like a base to sort of stick on top of, because I definitely want to be sort of maximalist this month. That's the plan. Okay, I also have these sheets of paper from Craft World, which I'm going to go ahead and link down below. I got a bunch of free downloadables from them, and they have been hugely inspiring this time while creating my setup for, May 2023, and then January, and now also February. So I printed these out, and I'm just going to use them to sort of create the collages and whatnot. I also pulled out some of these. This is from a paper pack that my sister got for me from Michael's. I don't think I have a link for this, but yeah, I'll link whatever I can down below. So I just pulled these out thinking maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't, and we'll see. This is from a really old paper pack, and the red sort of matches the lace. This is again from Michael's, so I just pulled these out as well. This Botanical Gardens little book, it's vellum paper that you can just sort of stick down, and I absolutely love this. This is my second time purchasing this. I'm going to try and link down below the website that I got it from. It's a small Instagram shop, and so my links, because I'm based in Karachi, all my links are usually for Pakistan. I don't know if that is convenient for you or not. I'd love to know. I also recently got this piece of twine in a gift wrap, so I just thought I'd keep that. Maybe I'd need it. These letters are from Daraz. I've seen them on Amazon as well, so I'll go ahead and link that down below for you, just including them, as well as these flower stamps. The theme is roses, but it can always sort of overlap to different flowers. It's essentially like a collagey, vintagey theme that's sort of boosting off of the roses. This rose stamp is, of course, going to come in super handy. These are individual stamps from a company called Shop Back. I'll go ahead and link them down below. Always great to have a binder clip on hand just in case. So all of these supplies are basically everything I pulled that I thought would match the theme from my collection, not necessarily that I used everything in creating. I have these Crayola Super Tips for my markers. I have a Signme brush pen that's a fine liner on one side and a brush pen on the other. It's in a lighter pink. And then I have this acrylic paint marker. Again, it's sort of a softer pink. And this quick coloring brush pen. It looks sort of peachy, but it's actually a very light pink. And finally, in my fine liners, I have this fine liner. I think it's from like Mimoso or one of those companies. And it's in a 0.5. It's a pink. And I'm hoping that I can use this for like my calendar setups and such. We'll see how handy it comes in. Okay, we also have some ink pads. I'm hoping to go stick with like a brown theme this time rather than going with black. So I pulled out my brown ink pads. These are also from The Raz, from one of the sellers on there. I also have these acrylic stamp pads just in case I use my acrylic stamps. I'm not really sure if I'm going to, but we'll see. I have this leaf set also from The Raz, as well as this stencil set. It's not quite on theme, but I thought maybe for the base of the collaging or something of that sort. Essentially how my brain works when it comes to creating these setups is I just pull out everything, like I said, that relates to the theme, and then we see how things unfold. My Muji ruler, handy dandy ruler, which is absolutely one of my best bullet journal tools. And also these Faber-Castell pens. I really like these Faber-Castell pens. This is a Pitt Artist pen. It's a brush pen, and it's in a really light, warm gray tone. And it's great for like light shading, etc. And then these are metallics in Copper Cabana, I believe it says, and Heart of Gold or something like that. I don't know. My eyesight is terrible, so I can't really read it on the screen, but these are also great as well. Then I have a Muji mechanical pencil and my everyday pen, which is the Muji gel pen in 0.5. I'm actually thinking of dropping down to a 0.38, but we'll see. And then the Muji eraser, as you can see, I definitely love Muji. It's a disturbing addiction. And then a Yoo-hoo glue stick, because of course we're going to be sticking in a lot of things, and a corner rounder. This I also got from a place called Shop Back, and it's a really handy dandy tool to have on hand. So I've been using up my IKEA labels. These are from IKEA, and I've been using them up every month for the front page, and this month will be no different. And finally, this is my washi tape collection that I have. Again, I just pulled out whatever I felt was on theme. This masking washi tape is from Muji, and the rest of them are from different companies around like these Instagram pages, you know, these small little businesses that you just stumble upon during the scroll. So I just pulled out whatever worked. And for the most part, that's, I believe, just about it. Yes, we have some stickers. Again, I just opened up my sticker collection. Some of these Pantone stickers are really great. I added in some green ones. I added in some vintagey ones. And I actually don't end up using too many stickers throughout my setup. But in the beginning, it's always great to just sort of look through the collection, make sure I don't miss anything, and have it on hand. Okay, so those are all the supplies, and without further ado, let's now get into the flip through. Okay, so this is my February cover page and quote page. It is maximalist, and I really, really, really wanted a maximalist sort of setup for my cover page this month. But don't be worried, this is as maximalist as it's going to get. Everything else is really light going forward. You can see my inspirations right there. The tissue paper is down on the bottom, and the lace is down in the middle, and I really like how it's come together. In the back, I have all these different things. I have the white tissue paper, I have the vellum flowers, I have the label, and just all the different things that I had gathered together, and I sort of collaged them. The images and the pictures are from Google and Pinterest, and then stickers and stuff or whatever I had on hand. And I've just sort of pulled it together to create like a mood board / cover page. For my quote, I have in February, there is everything to hope for and nothing to regret. And February is the line between winter and spring. So to write this, I used the Sigma Micron fine liner in 08. I did feel like it was a little bit of a thicker nib than I had actually hoped for, but you know what, you live and learn. And in 2023, I'm becoming really comfortable with making mistakes in my journal and having stumbles during the creative process, because you know what, I'm human. And this experience is meant to be fun. It's not an art and perfectionism. It's just something to enjoy. So yeah, I really like how this setup turned out. Okay, heading into my monthly calendar. So I was absolutely determined this month. January was so hectic for me. My calendar was filled to the maximum, and I had to write really tiny because I had, saved space on the sides for decoration. So this time I have a wall-to-wall calendar, no decoration, no title. I know it's the calendar. I don't need a title. And I just want to pack in the information. So my boxes are 7 by 6, 7 down and 6 across. And I have the last 2 days of January and the first 5 days of March in here, which I always like to include for some pre and post planning, as well as a section for my measurements and my 3 main goals for the month. I'm hoping to really pack this whole setup with information, because I love that. For me, data collection is everything, and that's exactly what my bullet journal offers me. Okay, we're moving on to the currently setup. So this has been such a fun setup to fill out in January. I really enjoyed it, and I will be sharing next week a flip through of my January setup after the pen. So I think you guys will enjoy seeing the spreads that I used and how I used them. The currently setup is essentially me recording what I'm currently into. So my current read, not my favorite, sorry, but my current read, my current watch, my current listen to, what I'm currently eating. I don't know, just anything significant. It's like a snapshot of me in this moment. And I feel like that's always nice. That's the whole point of the bullet journal, is that it's a way to collect memories and create memories. And so I feel like this is a useful setup in terms of that. Okay, on to the check-in page. So this page is really popular whenever I talk about it on my Instagram page, because I mentioned Pickup Limes, who was the inspiration behind this, and everybody freaks out because she is incredible. If you don't know her, then do check out her content. I'll link her down below. She's so worth the follow, and she creates this in her bullet journal. It is a emotional, physical, and mental check-in at the beginning of the month, and it's a great way to sort of check in how you're feeling physically, emotionally, and spiritually, and sort of regroup. It's a great journaling page to have, that's for sure. So here I changed the outline of my setups with the Signme brush pen on the fine liner side, because I wanted a lighter pink. I felt like the pink in the monthly setup was just a little too harsh. Okay, on we go to the spending tracker. Again, another very useful setup. Super simple. We have date, item, amount spent. That's it. In January, I ran through my 2 pages, and in the last few days, I had to use a Post-it to sort of collect the extra information. So this time around, I'm hoping I've given myself a little bit more space up top, and maybe next month I'll just get rid of the title altogether and give the whole page over to recording information. We shall see. Okay, it's time for trackers. I love the spread. I really enjoyed using the spread in January. It was so much fun. I filled out everything every day. I was really diligent, and I find it so satisfying to look at now. Again, very minimal decoration, no title, nothing. And I think that's absolutely fine. I know what the page is. That's the whole point. And The whole point is that this is meant to be a data logging page. I need to pack in my information. I need my information on hand to record, and that's what matters. So I basically fill out my details here, and then I funnel in that information into my main sort of trackers. So my mood tracker, you can see I did really well in January, as well as my workout tracker, and I just sort of like nudged that information back into these places from my monthly setup. So I have my workouts, I'm tracking my steps, I'm tracking my water consumption, and I'm tracking my sleep. And it's just been so satisfying to sort of see. And I blocked out my weekends this month because I feel like it would be nice to see how the weekends correlate with my habits and my health. Is there an up and down? Am I getting complacent? It's just a great way to sort of get to know myself and also hold myself accountable, because really, who else will we answer to more than ourselves? I mean, of course, our creator, but second, I would say should be us, for that accountability factor. On the right-hand side, I'm tracking my habits and my mood. I have reading, journaling, vitamins. I have daily yoga because I really don't want to miss yoga in February. I have reading a page of Quran a day, which is the holy book for Muslims, as well as making sure that I am saying all of my 5 prayers as close to the call to prayer time as possible, which has been a priority for me in 2023. And then in my moods, I have all the basics. So we have happy, calm, sad, tired, anxious, energetic, creative. And I had it sick and irritated this time because I had a day or two in January when I felt those feelings and I did not have any way to record it. So I felt the need and I fulfilled the need. And to finish it off, I just used my rose stamp and I finished off the page. Now later on, after I fill out these trackers and I feel like, I want to add a little something, I always can. Memory keeping. This is kind of a new-ish spread for this month. Last year, when I created this in January, this was my gratitude log. And I realized at the end of the day when I was filling it out that I wasn't really writing so much a gratitude as well as sort of a highlight of the day. I was writing a core memory of the day that served me. And so I felt like it was better to use this spread for that purpose. So I blocked out my weekends and I have 2 lines for each day, and I can just write down one significant memory that sums up that day or that stood out that day. And for gratitude, I've created this new spread. So there's this content creator on YouTube called Tracy Mary Revel, I think it is. I don't know. I watch her videos so much. I can't believe I don't remember her name, but I'll link her down below. And she creates a setup every month where she creates like a table of sorts where for each day she'll write down one word that sums up the positivity of that day. So like something she's grateful for. So like strength, family, park, etc., whatever, just one word. And she'll hand letter it in different letters. So it's a great way for her to practice her hand lettering as well as share her gratitude. And in the end, she has like a graffiti wall inside her bullet journal almost, and that's what I wanted to do. I had initially thought to create the boxes beforehand, but I thought I'd give myself leeway depending on how big the words are that I create each day, and then I can just sort of create boxes or curves or lines or whatever I want to, or maybe just nothing. Maybe just let the words flow into one another and just put the date around them. But I feel like in my head I can see the spread, and I really hope it turns out the way that I'm anticipating. I'm excited to see it, and I feel like it would be a great creative outlet as well as a funky thing to sort of practice my lettering, maybe learn a new skill while also logging and creating something that's memorable. It'd be fun. Decoration is really simple. I have these stickers from Telling K Design that say good vibes and positivity, and then I have this vellum flower down on the left-hand side as well as the rose stamps, and we're done. That brings me to the end of my monthly pages, and we're jumping right into the weekly. So the weekly setup that I have created for the first week goes from the last 2 days of January all the way to the first 5 days of February. The way I decide that is that whichever month has the most days of the week, that's the month that, the weekly is going to fall into. So this setup is inspired by Simple Bujos, and around week 3 of January, I went from a single page setup to a double page setup. I have a mid-priority, high priority, low priority tasks for the week, along with notes on the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side, I have my days of the week, along with events, workouts, meals, and tasks. And I love how information packed this weekly setup is. It's so satisfying. And if I miss my daily rapid logging, it's all good because I already have so much information at the tip of my fingers. This next double page spread is completely customized for me. I have a food log and I've been really enjoying tracking this. And down on the left-hand side, I have a calendar for my kids' school lunches / snack ideas. And it's great to sort of look back on when I'm stumped and I really need a suggestion of what to give them. And so I have this. And on the right-hand side, I haven't put my kids' names in yet for privacy reasons, but I am also keeping a food log for them. Last week of January, I was really good and I hardly missed anything. I think maybe I missed Sunday, but I've basically been listing down what they've been eating, and it's been really eye-opening for me. It's been a great way for me to sort of recognize what I'm not offering them, what I should be offering them, et cetera, et cetera. So I love that. And that's it. That brings me to the end of my February setup. So up on the top, I have these Post-it tabs. I went with pink because that's the color that's marking my weekly for February. And I have another Post-it tab marking the last week of January. So it's an easy flip through. But that's about it. That's my February setup in a nutshell. So go ahead and tell me in the comments down below which spread was your favorite. What did you think of the setup itself? What do you like about the theme? And what setup page do you find the most useful? I'd love to hear. I love how thick my journal has become after this setup, and it's something that I really adore about the maximalist experience, and I love how well loved my journal looks. The whole point of a journal is not for it to be super pristine, just sitting on your bookshelf. It's supposed to be used with you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. I'm almost halfway through my journal already, and it's only the first month of the year, so clearly I will be going through a couple of these journals this year, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. All my social information is in the description box, and also my website is linked where I will have close-ups of all these setup pages. Anyway, I will see you next week. Bye!